Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the first live stream on the new BookTube channel. BookTube
Is it
Book
the
Club.
very first one?
Yeah. So
That's exciting.
I know, like me today being like, oh gosh, I have to log into a different StreamYard account.
I mean, do you though? Could you just do it from your other StreamYard account?
No, I'm a
Okay.
professional.
That's valid.
Wait, I have a banner. But
Beautiful.
I know this is what I do before the stream. I think nobody's watching, but do we want to introduce ourselves just for funsies?
Let us introduce ourselves to our third nut that's here.
Oh my gosh, we have a nut in the audience. It's so fitting.
Yeah. Wait.
Anyways, I didn't put any links in the description just for the Discord server, so
Oh no, that's totally fine.
I'm Violet, this is Anne.
This is us. We're here.
We like to read.
Sometimes.
Anne also has her own book club, but
I
just
do.
likes hanging out at mine sometimes as well.
That's true. Yeah, we're not reading any books this month, like specific books. They will not have like a live show, so. Well, you also gave him a rent, so I can't put him in timeout. It is unfortunate.
Am I sorry? I don't know yet. We'll see if I end up regretting this or not.
I mean, putting our only viewer in timeout would be a bad move, possibly.
It would be mean, yeah. So, hello, Michael. Hello, Anne. Hello, potential
Violet.
lurkers. Oh, I don't have a banner for this, but I was going to say, what are people reading? I'm just going to put the ticker up. That this month's pick is The Hobbit. Woo! That's up my copies of The Hobbit. Hobbit Show and Tell. Whoop whoop. But like I was telling Anne before we went live, I don't actually plan on starting to read this until like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Like I really want it to be like my holiday read at home, cozy. I will hopefully have a Christmas tree by then.
Yeah, there's nothing even remotely Christmassy here. It's fine.
So the live show is going to be the 27th, right here, back here, same place. We don't know what time.
Sometime in the afternoon, evening, though, for people in our time zone.
Yes. I'm not good at math or time or that stuff, but I know how to read. So I know there's a flex. What is everybody reading today for the stream? And
I actually do have something to read because I was supposed to buddy read Upgrade. Oh, I love the cover with Julie this week, and I haven't started it, and she finished it 3 days ago. So,
oh,
you should be
okay.
reading this.
Do you have a synopsis or anything fun you can share? It's like Crouch. He does like sci-fi, right? So
yeah, he does like mindfuckery books. Like I read his other the book that was released before this, Recursion. It was one of my absolute favorite books of all time. It's it's weird. Anyway, this one is. Let me just read it to you. I'm bad at summarizing things. You are the next step in human evolution. What if you could be capable of more? What if you could think sharper, read faster, memorize better, sleep deeper? For Logan Ramsey, it's happening. He's been targeted for an upgrade. The problem is, it wasn't his choice. His genes have been hacked. To discover why, Logan must confront a horrific family legacy that goes back to the darkest part of his past. And with a terrifying plan in place to replicate his upgrades throughout the world's population, he may be the only person capable of stopping what has already been set into motion. To win the war against humanity, Logan will now have to become something other than himself. It sounds so good.
Sounds also right up your alley.
Yeah, it is. I'm so excited.
So, I will be beta reading for the stream today. Beta reading for Marta, so I don't think I can share a synopsis because I don't.
Why
think she
not?
would- I don't know if she would appreciate that.
Just
to
read the
share
first chapter for us.
Just a live reading of her whole
Yeah.
book.
We'll all get feedback.
Love you, Marta. Don't kill me. Yeah, so Michael, do you want to share with the class?
He'll be reading the group read.
I thought he was reading Grapes of Wrath.
Maybe he finished Grapes of Wrath.
Oh no, he did say he'll be reading The Hobbit.
Oh, I know. I told him.
Exciting. Oh, well, StreamYard takes a minute.
That is true. Hi, Kira. What are you
Hey,
reading?
Kira.
I think Kira, if I'm not mistaken, was also rereading her favorite series, the Six of Crows trilogy, with her best friend. So, are you still reading Crooked Kingdom, or did you finish it? Let us know. Call in. I feel like it's okay to use it when Steek is supposed to be here, right? We can use his.
Yeah, we totally can. We're currently reading The Roommate by Rosie Dannon.
We love a good romance. Is it a good romance, or is it the other one that wasn't as good?
Finished Crooked Kingdom.
Good job. I haven't. I'm still in the very beginning. But it's...
Oh, you started it. I didn't even know you started it.
Yeah, I started the audiobook, but then I was in a not good mental place. I was like, let's reread my favorite audiobook for, safety, comfort. So I'm almost done with that one, though, and then I'll get back to Crooked Kingdom. So I'll finish it this year.
I know. I think especially at the end of the year, I really have this feeling like so many books, so little time when it comes to reading.
Yeah.
So
crazy. Especially when everyone's making all of these plans. And I, too, am one of those people. Like, I made all of these, lists of books that I want to read for specific things or whatever. And I'm already I can't possibly read all of those books. Especially if I'm also buying new books next year. I was just talking about books on, my shelves, and I'm like,
yeah, I was thinking about my sort of reading goals that I set last year for this year and how I did not meet several of them, and then being like, well, there's always next year.
yeah, and then we keep setting unrealistic goals. So
Yeah, I'm just such a mood reader that I just pick up things on a whim. So that's why I feel like I can never really have a TBR.
that's fair. But I also feel like this year a lot of things not necessarily changed, but we started our book club this year. And I feel like a lot of people started more. Danny had her first readathon, if I'm not mistaken. And so I feel like a lot of other people are in the community also coming up with more stuff that you then want to be part of. So it's a good thing. I'm not trying to criticize, but it's just all of this wasn't happening last year. So I didn't know to plan for them this year. So
that's fair, yeah. I mean, I know you had a video on your channel where you talked about feeling sometimes pressured about book clubs and things like that and challenges. And sometimes I also feel stressed, with this book club, the Nostalgia Train, and putting out readathons and prompts and all that. And then other times I have to be like, Violet, it's okay if it's just me doing this or just one other person, anything just to encourage people to read. It can't be a bad thing.
yeah,
It's never a mandatory thing. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. It's just something you're doing for you. If you like to read, let's make it try to feel like a group activity, this solitary hobby.
yeah, though it can be really disheartening when you're putting all the work into it. People are like, oh, I'm so excited, and then no one shows up. I get it. It's not the person's fault. If they have something else going on, that's fine. But it still sucks.
Do you ever finish a book and you're like, oh my God, I love that, 5 stars. And then you see a booktuber or somebody you like online and they say that they hate that book. And I was like, oh my gosh,
I had this
love that
situation
book.
with my best friend where she hated the book of my favorite thriller author and I hated the book of her favorite thriller author. And we were both like, how can you be so blind? How can you not see the value in this book? And that's when we realized we don't mash in the thriller genre. Every other genre, not thrillers.
Yeah, I've had a couple times where people say that they hate a book that I love. And I'm like, oh.
It hurts. Especially if they have valid critique and then you start questioning yourself and your judgment of the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be so interested to see how you feel about the 12th book and if you're going to rip it apart.
Yeah, I'm scared to start it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so Michael is reading The Hobbit now, and then we'll finish Grapes of Wrath later. The Roommate is really good. I'm enjoying it.
That's good.
Nice. Wanted to outdo the number of books I read last year, 17, which I've crossed if I count my reread. Ah, okay. Why
Obviously,
would you
count the
count?
rereads.
Yeah, why wouldn't you count rereads?
There's even multiple books like that I've read multiple times this year. There's one series that I read twice, and I'm still counting it because I read the book twice, so it's read.
Yeah, see, I don't count twice if I read in the same year, but if it's a reread, I still count it. And I count also beta read books as well.
I don't, but I did count my own books.
See, like I beta read for Crystal twice this year. So it's the same. Well, I mean, there's different versions of the same draft. So I'm counting it once, but I'm still counting it.
That's fair. Oh, well, then I have read like 3 more books. I like that.
Yeah, because I feel like if I don't count beta read books, that's like saying it's not a book. And like those are clearly books. So
Oh, that's very true. I put it in my journal. I always go back and like refer back to Goodreads, and unfortunately can't add like your own stuff on there. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah, okay, that's true if you use Goodreads. Then you would, yeah. Do you do like the Goodreads challenge where it like marks it for you?
yeah, I think I set it to 75, and I think I hit that in like October, which was really nice. But then I was like, let's make it bigger.
I'm so bad at updating Goodreads. I just stopped with the pressure to read more than I can. Between a lot of writing and then my dyslexia and just life stress, I can't always read as much as I like. Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a very good way to think about it, though. Like,
See, I think I'm the opposite. I'm like, I'm just not going to pressure myself to write anything, and I'm just going to let myself read as much as I want.
which is totally fair if that's, the situation that you're in and that works for you and that, gets you where you
Yeah.
want to be. Or,
I always think about it like this because like I think I sometimes I feel like I read like an embarrassing amount of audiobooks, but for me
no.
it's like some people binge TV shows. I binge audiobooks. Like I don't watch TV, I don't watch movies. I binge audiobooks. That's what I do.
Yeah,
So it's like it's not like a more toxic than other people's things that they do.
absolutely not. And I feel like there's still people, my dad and my brother being two of them, that are like, audiobooks are no real books. You didn't read the book. And every time I'm at like my dad's house and they bring up this discussion, I want to leave because I think it's so unfair. Because like, what, blind people can't read, children can't read.
Yes. I
Like,
know my partner
people
is
with
like that too.
dyslexia can't read. Like,
He always acts like that. You didn't really read all those books. You read them so fast you couldn't comprehend them. But like I have all my books like for each month in the back of my bullet journal, like in little
so cute.
pictures. So I said like, okay, pick a book at random, and I'll explain the plot to you in detail. I'll show you how much I can recall of these books. He gave up after 2 books. He's like, okay, you remembered these books, I guess. So I guess that counts as reading. I was like, thank you.
Oh, but even that is discrediting. Like, what if you have a really bad memory because of whatever? Then you
Yeah,
didn't read
this
the
is what I
books?
told him. I told him I would remember the plot, but don't expect me to remember the characters' names.
Fair.
Totally. If I beta read a book 3 times in 1 year, I count it as 3 reads.
I think there were 2.
I like
did-
hearing other people's systems.
I did 3 beta reads and 1 proofread, so up by 4, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, thanks. Okay, now let's are we fine with the 44 minute timer?
Yes, it's so cute. I love bees so much.
I know, I was like, oh my gosh, you're doing a reading stream. I need long sprints. I've had this timer like on my channel for like a year. Not a year, a month.
Wow, that's still long though.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Kara's saying something. I don't think any amount of anything is bad as long as you know where your time is going. I do watch TV and it feeds my need for storytelling, but it's something my husband and I can do together. Oh, that's cute.
It's very cute. Like sometimes in the evening I'll be like, Kira, what's up? And she's like, I'm on the couch with my husband watching something.
Okay, can I also just say, like, I love how, like, with the layout of StreamYard is right now, how Kira's comment is falling right under you. Like, you know, sometimes the comment blocks the co-host.
Yeah. We just can't have more than 2 co-hosts. Problem solved.
Okay, we're gonna roll the sprint. Happy reading, everybody.
Or whatever else you're doing.
Yeah, but also read.
No.
Okay.
What? No.
That's the end of the sprint. We have acquired a Sam as well.
Ye-
Yo.
Sorry, I'm late.
We hate you forever.
Felt
I'm sorry.
I passed out from exhaustion and then woke up with a migraine, and I only remembered because I got an Instagram alert that said Violet had messaged me. And let me tell you, the speed with which I shot out of bed and
Funny.
rushed over here.
How did everybody do during the sprint? I ate pizza, but also red.
I'm so jealous. I had rice with ketchup, which is. We had leftover rice. What was I supposed to do?
I mean, you could like scramble an egg and put it in it.
I don't think we have eggs.
Oh, that's fair. We are also out of eggs. Let me tell you, we used to buy eggs and bread as like the cheap lunch and stuff
Staples.
for me and the children. And now it's like $6 for an 18 count. And we're like, son of a bitch. So I can't buy eggs now. And what is your problem? What is your problem? He keeps rubbing against my computer, making it do that.
Well, he's so cute. I think we can forgive.
They'll forgive you. I won't leave my computer alone.
Oh yeah, then I read. That's me.
Oh yeah, I started reading catching up on some comics.
Ooh.
Which
You wanna
the Webtoon app now releases your reading stats at the end of the year.
That's cool and frightening and cool.
Yeah, my stats were, hold on. Let me double check. Well, my stats as of like last week, it's probably changed by now. 3,783 episodes across 12 genres and 153 series. I read 47 new ones, and I spent 291 days reading on Webtoon, which only counts the webcomics I read on the Webtoon app, not the Manta app, and I read far more on the Manta app than I do the Webtoon app. So I'm like, Manta, I don't need the stats, but I kind of want the stats.
Yeah, before this first sprint, I was talking a little bit about how binging audiobooks is like my toxic trait. So,
Is it toxic though?
hold on. Kira had been putting a comment. What did she say? Oh, about if audiobooks are reading. Listening to audiobooks is definitely reading the same way babies learn to read, by seeing pictures. Yeah, for sure. I'll be listening to an audiobook while I file my nails because I have people coming over tonight.
That's fair.
And very relatable.
Like I'm at the point like I can't leave the house unless I have an audiobook. Like going out in public, I have to ride the bus, I have to walk down the sidewalk, like that my anxiety doesn't take over me. But sometimes I make the mistake of starting a new audiobook. Like now I realize I have to like be a little bit invested in it before I go out because then I have no like safety net to fall back on.
I feel that.
It's fair. Audiobooks allow me to read, period, now. Because like I have so much going on and stuff. The only reason I can like also because of the migraines, like comics are different because they're mostly pictures, and there are some comics I can't read when I'm like in the deepest part of the migraine because their colors are too bright, but otherwise they're just easier to read because like the font's generally bigger and more spaced out, and there's like not as much to read. So other than comics, audiobooks are like my main form of getting stories in now. But yes, I too binge everything. I binge anime, I binge TV shows, I binge audiobooks, comics.
Yeah, I've started getting back into using my e-reader because it has the like the paper screen, but it also has a light that I can turn on and off. And it's really nice because with the e-reader, you can change the font obviously to make it nicer. And also like, yeah, make it big. So like if you look at my e-reader, it looks like I'm an old person because my font is so huge. But I can't focus when I have like a whole page like of tiny font. Like my thoughts just can't focus on it.
Whatever you need
I
to
feel
do to
that.
do the reading. Every time when I'm reading a book, I put like my thumb like at the bottom or at the top where the like page number is, because I find myself always looking at the page number on every page because I'm like, am I further into the book? Am I further into the book? And I realize now I have to cover it, otherwise I'm focusing on that, which makes no sense. But
Yeah.
Because of my dyslexia, when I was like learning to read and get into books, I also feel like on a level reading is a skill. So like I would have a bookmark and the bookmark would be right below where I was reading, especially if I was reading like one of those the mass paperbacks, so they're all like the same size, which means that sometimes the font is much smaller so they can like fit it all on a reasonable number of pages to hold in your hand. So I would have to have a bookmark under it so I could keep track of where I was. Otherwise, I would never be able to finish a page. So, which I'm teaching that technique to my children now because my children, especially my middle one, have just gotten into like physical books, and we're currently going through and decluttering and cleaning their rooms. My middle child has finished his, and their closet shelves, which were predominantly used for just storing stuff, he and I switched around so that it can also be his like bookshelf now. So he's very pleased about that. His bookends are currently the paint cans that have the leftover paint from when we painted the room.
That's so fair. We moved in here 3 years ago and we still use our paint cans to hold stuff.
And I showed it to my sister. She's like, "Oh, I love it. It's very college kid vibes." So I told him this is what we got to do till we can get some nicer bookends. And even though they've been dry for years, I still found myself making sure the paint can, like the part with the dry paint, was not near the actual books. I'm like,
you can also vertically stack the books at the end. Like, don't put them like this, but put some like this instead of bookends.
That's how he had. Yeah, but he doesn't have enough books for that yet.
Okay, that's fair.
He's got like the Percy Jackson series and then a bunch of skinny ones.
Aw, fun. Essie popped in and said,
Hi, Essie.
They're reading Oil and Marble by Stephanie Story. It's about the rivalry between Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Whoa.
Ooh.
Very
like
cool.
Historically accurate or like fiction? Or both?
Either way sounds kind of intriguing.
It does.
And this is for you, Anne?
I know how to cook.
When you're reading?
We have leftover rice because my partner was supposed to cook yesterday. He put the rice in the rice cooker, whatever. Then I called him. I was like, "You don't have to cook. I'm bringing food home because my mom gave me food. She cooked. So we have the rice. We just don't have any like canned sauces or anything like that. And he's bringing me food today too because he's at his parents' house and I'm getting leftovers again. So I was like, I don't want to cook a full meal.
Oh, so this was just like a survival snack.
Look, I've never tried rice with ketchup, but I don't see why it wouldn't taste fine.
I love rice potatoes with ketchup.
So I wasn't judging. I was just like you could even have the egg with the rice and ketchup. Like those flavors work together.
Yeah, I always make fried rice out of my day-old rice cooker rice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my lazy meal that actually tastes good.
Right?
Yeah.
Michael said that he had a muffin and brewed coffee. Oh, muffin and coffee. That's like an epic combo. Okay, Michael, I have to ask, what kind of muffin was it? You can't just tell me a muffin.
I know. We need to know.
And then got started on reading The Hobbit. So was this like your first time cracking the book open, Michael, for this reread? Because I know you said you read it before. To get this like iconic line.
Was reading it yesterday. Excuse me. On when we were doing sprints on the Storyteller's Hearth, and he said it was
he stayed up for that. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
because I know Steve's in the same time zone as Anne and I was sleeping.
Well, we Jess had sent him the link, and it was like, if you're alive, you can join us. And it was his first time reading it in English, so that's interesting.
Damn him! I sent him a German copy sometime this year. I was hoping he'd read that one.
It's also going to be my first time.
Maybe he'll read both. We don't know. He owns
I
like 18 copies apparently.
Read it in German. Tiny
That's
Hobbit.
pretty. I will be
I-
having Andy Circus read it to me.
Yeah,
Probably
I have
on
my
the
physical
25th.
copy, but I also downloaded the Andy Circus version because my favorite parts in The Hobbit is the scenes with Gollum. So like, how iconic is it going to be to have Andy Circus reading
know.
that, like in the Gollum voice? He is Gollum. Like, oh my god, like I can't wait for that.
I can't take full credit for picking that version because like at some point a couple months ago I was like, babe, I have an extra Libro credit because the kids have a couple books for bedtime. So do you want to use it? Because I don't have any like books pressing. And he was like, well, I would like to start listening to The Lord of the Rings. So let's start with The Hobbit. And I was like, babe, there's like 4 different narrators. Who you want? And he was like, yeah, I'm live streaming.
Do you know how to say pay in Spanish?
Pagar, Pagar.
Oh, I know how to spell.
Yeah, okay. So he's doing his Spanish Duolingo.
I should do that.
And he was like, I want he's like, I want Andy Serkis because he's the guy who played Gollum. And I was like, okay. But it was like slightly shorter than a different narrator. And I was like, is it just your narration speed? Hold on. I must make sure you get the absolute best version. So same, it's just the narration speed for anybody curious.
Yeah, my library also has the. It's like what's the version? Like what's it like the?
What?
Where
Unabridged.
they do it like a radio show, like a
Oh,
not an
full
abridged
cast.
version, but where it's like with the sound effects and like it's not even like almost like it's like the movie in spoken word. I don't know what
A
this is
full
called.
cast production, I think. Is the
Yeah, but it's
term.
like a shortened version. It's only like 4 hours. Only
Oh.
4 hours, but like compared to the book is like what 10,
It's 8 hours.
10 hours.
Well, 4 hours for our audiobooks is very short.
So I did the same thing with the bookmark to read each line. Still do when I'm tired. My dyslexia worsens when I'm tired.
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel you. Dyslexics
Blueberry.
unite.
And I heated it. Yeah, blueberry classic. Can't go wrong with blueberry.
Oh, so
Yeah, but
tasty.
it's
Did you
not-
put butter on it? The American Southerner needs to know.
I feel like
You got-
fruit
I'm in my
muffins-
sleeping tank top, so like all my tattoos be exposed.
You
I
don't
feel
like
like fruit
muffins?
muffins shouldn't be heated though. Like you can heat a chocolate muffin.
No,
But like if there's
No,
fruit in it,
hot blueberry.
Mm,
That's good.
no, I'm
you
not here for
can.
that.
It makes it's because of the way the fruits in it. It just makes it very warm and gooey, like a pie.
Like a pie. Yeah.
See, but no, I find that okay for like something with cherry in it. Like I love a good warm cherry pie, but blueberries in my mind just aren't supposed to be hot in any capacity.
What about blueberry
I'm sorry.
pancakes, Anne?
Yeah.
no,
there
I
you
eat my pancakes and I eat my blueberries.
Well, I'm from Minnesota, and the
Oh.
blueberry muffin is the state muffin of Minnesota. So, like, blueberries like grow really good by
What
us.
we
so,
just
like,
need to do
put them in
is,
everything.
do an international writing retreat, and I'll warm up a blueberry muffin and let you taste it, Anne. And if you don't like
Thank
it,
you.
I'll just eat the rest of it.
With
That's
butter.
what I do with my kids and my sisters. Yes,
Thank
my
you.
child.
I've already I've already
Then
just
bring your
gotten
charger
started
downstairs.
on it before the stream. Okay.
Good job.
Oh,
What do
and
you wanna
Michael
hear?
says,
And ask your
yes,
brother
I
to use
buttered
his
it.
charger.
Very nice.
Is that butter in the muffin?
Michael, can your brother use your charger?
I think it
I
depends
am
on the
aware.
muffin. I think I like putting butter on the outside. It depends on what type of muffin it is.
I
Yeah.
feel like you wouldn't put butter on sweet things here. Like you'd put butter like on bread and eat it, but you wouldn't put it on a muffin or cake or anything like that.
I'm a Southern American, so we put butter on 90% of things.
Yeah, like if you put butter on banana
way-
bread, that's good.
The way that, especially any breaded product, you just like cut it in half, put a little bit of butter on it, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds so the butter melts and the bread is nice and soft and gooey. So good.
Salted butter?
I think so. Whatever the default butter is. So
I think the default butter
salted.
depends on where you're at.
Well, that's what I mean. Whatever the default butter here is. I think the default butter here is salted, but you can buy unsalted, but we don't.
That's interesting. The default butter here is unsalted.
Yeah. I also get the butter that says calcium on it, like, because all of them are good for calcium, but there's like certain that they'll like formulate certain ones to be like even better for certain things. And since I have growing kids, I'm like, well, and
Yeah.
I don't want my bones to deteriorate. I get the butter with the calcium.
Yeah, I a lot of times if food like puts extra fortifications in, just 'cause, like I'm a vegetarian and I had problems before with like vitamin deficiencies, so
Oh yeah.
I'm always like, oh, this is giving plus vitamin D. Great, I'll take that one. Thank
That's
you.
like so in the States we have a program called WIC, which is for like women who are pregnant and like small children and stuff, and they give you like milk and stuff, like vouchers for it, so you can just get it at the store. And because of that, I had stopped drinking whole milk and started drinking 2% because that's the one that they give you because it's supposed to be healthier for you. And I started losing weight, and my doctor was like, have you changed your diet? And I'm like, the only thing I've done is changed my milk. And so she had to write me a prescription for whole milk because the 2% didn't have enough fat for me. And I was like, yeah.
That's
See,
very
I didn't like
funny.
the taste of the whole milk, or I didn't like the taste of the 2% anyway, but I was just drinking it because sometimes it's what you do. But I was so delighted. And now whenever somebody's like, well, you should switch to 2%, I'm like, no, I cannot. I require the whole milk.
That's funny. I know my mom got
metabolism
one
is
time
just too
also
high.
a really funny doctor's note because, like me and also like you, Sam, my mom has chronic migraines. She was working in a building with like fluorescent overhead lights, and her doctor wrote
Oh.
her a note that said, "It's okay that you have to wear sunglasses at work." So my mom be like walking around at work with sunglasses on.
How iconic.
I thought so too. And my mom's like, "I have a note from my doctor."
I have one other fun prescription from that midwife. When I went back on whole milk, I regained the weight, but then I was just kind of stagnant, and I had to have a ultrasound like every week to make sure the baby was growing because I myself was just not changing in weight. And so she started prescribing me milkshakes, like the
yum.
Ensure milkshakes, and she was like, drink these because she was hoping, because you're supposed to gain like a certain amount of weight during a pregnancy, and I just was not. And she was like, what is going on here? And I'm like, my body refuses to be above 100%. I know it's been I always hated being under that amount because I'm a type O negative, so I have like the universal blood donor. And I'm like, I always wanted to give blood, but they're like, Madame, you do not weigh enough to give blood and be okay. So I was like, yes, it's a struggle, ma'am. So then I had to drink milkshakes. But then also because of the morning sickness, that turned me off of milkshakes for years. I was like,
That
nope.
sounds awful.
I like
Milkshakes
them
are
again
so good,
now,
though.
though, so we're good.
Yeah. Every time I want to go to donate blood, I'm suddenly sick. Like it's like I'm like, oh, next week there's a
Your
like
body's
blood
like,
thing,
no.
and my body's like, you're getting a cold. Okay. I guess I'm getting a cold. Thank
Your
you.
body's like, do you realize how precious your blood is?
Yeah.
Stop giving it away.
Don't even think about it. Do we want again? I was gonna say again a 45-minute, but that was a 44. Don't get it twisted.
That's not
Could
45.
we like next to have a 45-minute timer or a 30-minute timer?
I'm good with the 44. I gotta go feed myself.
I'm good with that too. I got an energy
Okay.
drink so I don't fall asleep. And I have a book to read.
I can be like one of those weird pretentious people that's like, I rolled out of bed this way, but I actually did because I forgot to take my makeup off last night.
That
I
doesn't
just
sound
freshened it
so
up.
great for your skin, but I feel that.
Honestly, my
No,
skin
well-
has been such a mess like the last couple years.
I don't
And I
wear
have freckles,
foundation.
so it always looks like it has texture, but it's just like
Well, I'm genuinely just one of those I wash my face in the shower and whatever comes off, and whatever doesn't type of person. So
you can
I
get
that's-
away with that at your age, but when you're the age of Sam and I, you can't get away with it so much.
Well, I don't wear foundation as much anymore because there's I feel there's very little point for me wearing foundation, especially on stream. My camera is not nearly HD enough to like tell much difference. Also, my face changes. I would need like 5 foundations to match my face. But yeah, so I really just do lipstick and eyeshadow now. And the
the
lipstick
most fun part.
comes off by itself as I eat and drink, so I never have to worry about that. But I have gotten so bad about not taking my eyeshadow off because I just forget about it.
Oh, I put wipes by my bed just in case I forget.
That's
I
fair.
liked this comment that Michael left. Your body won't let you eat your blood, Anne.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I have some like super rare stuff in my blood that makes people like super cool, and my blood's like, no, you're the only super cool person.
Yeah,
Can't
I
give it
actually
to
had
other
my
people.
lipstick next to me because I was eating my pizza, and then like I forgot I was wearing lipstick, so it was like red all over my hand. Oh crap! I should fix that before
I
we go
feel
back
that.
on.
This is mine. Mine is Virgo, and it's like one of my favorite colors.
Mine is called Uncensored, and it's very stabby stab.
I pretty much exclusively use these Wet and Wild ones because they're cheap and so good for what they are for the
This
price.
one is also Wet and Wild. They like did a zodiac thing, and I was like, well, I can't walk away without Virgo, so I grabbed Virgo. What child? Yes, you can watch the
Kira
TV.
says, "I'm
You
not
should
proud
do
of the
your
fact
reading.
that I won't
Mommy's
put the
doing
trash
reading
out with
sprints
my-"
today too.
It's okay.
Yeah, we can read together.
Different comfort levels for different things.
No, I
I
mean
was
sometimes I feel like I should have a little
I
more
mean, that's
shame,
fair.
to be honest.
Yeah, it was my mom's birthday in like November, and I went to work afterwards, and my boss looked at me, he's like, "You're wearing lipstick." I'm like, "Yes, so like, I've never seen you with lipstick.
Look.
I didn't know you could do that." And I'm like, "I have lipstick."
I
Like,
feel
what?
that I don't have a shame bone in my body, and sometimes I just kind of like think about things I've said or done in the day, and I'm like, maybe I should feel embarrassed about that. And I'll like talk to my husband, and he'll be like, "Yeah, you should have a little bit more shame, I think." And I'm like, "Well, too bad it is not something I wish to acquire." I'm gonna just keep it. One day I'm gonna get in trouble,
Like for
but
me, like looks are not something I really am self-conscious about or get embarrassed about, but like things I say, then I get like, oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Why did I say that? Dreading about it at 3 in the morning and can't sleep. It's fine. It's normal.
And always like the most unimportant moments too, that you're like, "Oh shit, I was so
Like remember that one embarrassing thing you did in 6th grade and like, oh my god, why did I do that?
Yeah, or like that cashier in that store 3 hours from here is not gonna remember me. Doesn't matter that
see,
what I said.
it's like stuff like that that I'm like, I get the FOMO because I can't relate. Like, I don't know.
I'll happily transfer all my awkward outing experiences to you.
Okay,
I
I
don't need them.
will live vicariously through your shame.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have to click the button to start the sprint. I was just gonna mute myself.
I
Okay.
mean,
Happy sprinting.
It'll be the longest sprint.
Ooh.
That's the end of the sprint. How'd everybody do?
Well, I made myself a salad, and then I couldn't get much else done because I had to keep momming, including going into the kitchen and helping my youngest make a sandwich. Because at first she's like, "Can I have a turkey sandwich?" And I'm like, "Yeah, go make it." And then she comes back and she's like, "Mom, I want sliced tomato and lettuce." And I'm like, that part requires me. Because she can't use the knives that are sharp enough to cut the tomato well. So,
Hmm.
What, Sam? You don't let your kids play with sharp knives?
oh, that's not it. Just not the one. Like tomatoes are finicky. You need skills
That's
she hasn't
true.
developed yet.
It is true.
No, like I'm so. I'm so far from the parent who doesn't let their children play with knives. When I told them to bring me a knife for, well, to be clear, I don't let them play. I supervise them learning to use them. But when I tell them to bring me a knife so that I can open packages or something, they all bring me my butterfly knife. They know exactly where it is, and they're like, yeah, okay. My daughter says she just loves watching me open it, and I'm like, I'm raising tiny murderers. It's fine.
It's
Oof,
fine.
I hate knives and sharp
Fine.
things. And how
I
did you
love
do?
knives. Oh, I did fine, but then I felt really called out by the book because he like goes on about his like aspirations in life, and then he said, "I had extraordinary dreams and an ordinary mind," and I'm like, "Sir, no need to call us all out like that."
Damn.
I felt personally attacked. I wrote "ouch" next to it, in my
Oh.
tabbing. Yeah.
I finished my beta reading chapters for the section that I have and filled out the feedback
job.
form. So I have no more
Nice.
beta reading to do until Marta sends me the next section. So I updated my tracker. It looks so cute. Look at this. Wait,
That's so cute.
how do I do my?
That's
I always do it
adorable.
backwards.
Yeah,
How the hell do I do this?
You can
Look at this
swap your
cute
camera.
dinosaur sticker.
That is so cute. That's so
I
Marta
love
too.
that.
I know because I didn't know anything about Marta's book. I always do like beta reading trackers when I beta read. So usually I do it like the theme of the book. But since Marta has been so secretive about her book, I just did it Marta themed with tea and dinosaurs.
I mean, that's
love that.
valid.
Yeah.
See, I've said this like every stream since I started. But like I caught up on Jess's Advent things, and so I saw her planner for December, and I'm just like, I need to have money to hire somebody to just make me a planner every month because like I'm extremely organized in mind and I'm creative in storytelling, but when it comes to like making my own planners and stuff, it's just lists and columns. That's it.
Same.
It's just very utilitarian.
Though,
And I'm like, and I want something so pretty.
I
Ugh,
started
my
my one
favorite.
for next
But
year.
your January one, that's still more. more
That
than
took me
enough.
3 hours at work. 2 of my colleagues helped me.
Okay, well, then, Anne, I
Honestly,
feel
that's
you.
my favorite thing to do is
So-
sit down and do my bullet journal while I'm listening to audiobooks.
Yes.
Well, if anybody wants to for Christmas, just mail me 12 planners for 2023, free
I'm not
design.
kidding.
I'll accept any design.
Oh my
I
gosh,
have
Anne.
all of the journals right next to me because I'm working on them, like setting them up currently. So, oops, I have a problem, but it's okay because this doesn't
At
have
least
anyone.
you're trying, which is more than I'm doing.
Michael read The Hobbit that sprint.
How
I
unexpected.
mean, when I start my reread of The Hobbit, I really want to pay attention to the dwarves, who is who, that I don't get them mixed up. Do you guys, because I was thinking about this, what do you guys think about doing like a dwarf tier ranking?
I love that.
Look, you know how I take my notes. I will 100% add a column for that for me so that I
Yeah,
remember
because
to
I
do
would like to
that.
take notes where I can like write down all their names and like if they mention any features of them or personality traits. Like I really want to like, because I remember the
Join
first
me
time I
in the
read it, I would
notes.
sometimes get the dwarves mixed up. So
I mean, I feel like that's normal. There's like what 13?
And a lot
Yeah.
of their names are similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like meant to mix them up, especially those that have like eerie similar names.
Keely Feely.
Anne
Yeah.
likes knives. She's the kind of person who will stab you and then refuse to give her blood.
I thought
To
we
be fair,
established this earlier.
Anne would give her blood. Her body would not, though.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
not my fault.
unfortunately has a creator thing here.
And like, I don't even have like a red blood type. Like, I think I have like a very basic A. Whatever is more common, A, positive or negative. I don't know. So like, nobody needs my blood necessarily, but yeah.
I don't know. I love like blood, like in songs and poetry, but then like when I actually think about blood, I get really queasy.
I mean, that's
Like I like pretending that I'm like into dark and cool things, but like when it comes down to it, nope.
That's okay.
Also, Anne, do you have anything to say to Michael? I think he was waiting for a response here.
No, I don't. We have a lot of fun, exciting 3 nuts things planned, and I don't want Michael to hate me before those happen. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think you're beautiful, Michael. There you go.
I
I
bet he
mean-
appreciates that.
For your age, Michael, I mean,
How old?
I mean, yeah, being like what, multiple centuries old?
I don't know.
That-
In our lore, Michael is like he
Old.
saw the first
I mean-
sunrise.
Like, he sent a picture and he was like, 2007. I was like, BC?
So we're in the same generation, Michael, as an ancient immortal of mysterious and unknown origins. I relate. We look
Yeah, but-
great for our ages.
You're like, what is it? Like a deity or a goddess or something like that? Michael is like
No,
the bottom
I am
trash. He
in-
might be old,
no.
but
I am an ancient immortal of mysterious and unknown origins. I refuse to accept a specific label. But lots of
that's fair.
people assign me labels and I just accept all of them. So, in the Cookie Kingdom, I'm some sort of deity. Don't particularly know what I do or my role, but that is what I am.
yeah, I don't think anyone in the Cookie Kingdom knows what the hell is going on.
I just know I'm primordial in all spaces.
Cookies.
Oh yeah, cookies.
So we have been streaming for an hour or 2 hours and 15 minutes. I don't know if we want to wrap it up, if we want to do another sprint.
That'd be good for another sprint because it's very warm and cozy in my office.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I'm
have to
setting
start
up my
something out
Hobbit Mila notes. So
because I have now finished my current section of beta reading. So I have library books I can listen to.
Ooh, what are the options?
I am probably going to be reading the 3rd book in the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. I don't remember the name of the 3rd one, but I checked it out. So it's, yeah, that'll keep me busy until it's time for Hobbit because it's like a 30-hour audiobook.
That's pretty long. Do you listen on regular speed or do you speed it up too?
I'm somebody who's constantly adjusting as I go.
same.
So
It depends on the narrator for me because I want to be able to hear them clearly, but also some people talk too slow.
It also depends what I'm doing. Like, if I'm doing something where I can completely focus on listening versus like if I'm at the supermarket, like
Yeah.
how much energy I need to be putting out. So I usually always start at 1.25,
Same.
and then I
There was-
slowly turn up.
There was this one narrator who I had at like times, or it was like 1.8, and they still sounded like a normal human talking, except when they read the dialogue for this one character. So I would forget that I sped it up until they got to that character, and then I'd be like, oh, right.
Yeah, I usually listen on like 1.7 to 2.2. Also depending on the narrator. And every time I want to show someone, they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. If there's a break, I'm gonna think. And if I think, I'm not concentrating on the audiobook. Like,
Yeah. I think sometimes turning it up forces me to hyper focus
exactly.
on the story. Like if it's slow,
It
my mind will
also-
wander.
It also depends on if I'm taking notes or not. If I'm not taking notes, I'll listen to it faster. But if I'm taking notes, I'll listen to it slower. Sometimes even
That makes
slower
sense.
than I want to, just because it gives me time to type and I have to pause less.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
I also like whatever I do when I take notes. Like I'm tabbing this book. I don't know if you can see, but there's some tabs, and I feel like it's
pretty.
taken me significantly longer to read just because of that. Because I'm like, is this important? Is this not important? But then again, maybe it's because I read like middle grade books, and this is like a sciencey adult book, and I just my brain isn't able to comprehend the words. You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wait, Michael says another sprint.
Woot
Whoop,
woot
whoop, whoop.
woot woot. I will
Kind of
not. Thank you.
For
I
the
don't know.
ranking.
If it's slow, my mind will wander. What? I don't
Hi
get
there.
it.
I don't know if there's anything to get. I think maybe
yes.
he's just here for the chaos.
I swear I had something to say and it just
Sprint.
left. 25, 30, shorter. 'Cause we
Uh,
had two
It's
long
good
ones.
with me.
I would normally go for the longest, but we do need to take the children mule shopping today, so I'll vote for 25 just so I can
Fen-
be here
What do
the
you
whole
mean?
time.
You don't plan the entire day to hang out with us.
I mean, I would
Good.
have, but
Just
Didn't
gonna
want
stick with
to?
a Laura timer because I'm already on
we
Laura's
have to go when
page.
my husband is not at work, and this is one of his days off. As it is, I think he's still sleeping, but the moment he wakes up and realizes I'm streaming, he's gonna be like, "Again? This is the 4th time this week."
Yeah,
I'd be
the
like,
reason we don't have
I
a
was
Christmas
invited to
tree
things.
yet is because my partner's been working late and the Christmas tree
Mhm.
place closes early. And it's like,
Mm.
I'm like, I can't go get it with the bus. Like, I need the card. He has the car for work. So it's like, I can't, like, I'm like me on the bus with the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that
Like,
would be
That would be
awkward.
hilarious.
our Yule tree is gonna go like in that corner over there. I've already cleaned it out and stuff, but he's been working a lot to like try to get in as much overtime as possible before the holiday. So we haven't been able to set it up yet. And it just makes me so sad every time I look over at that boring white corner all by itself that I cleared out.
Yeah, we can't have a tree because my dog will eat it.
My dogs used to not be allowed in this room, but I've got it cleared out enough that they're allowed in this room. So now I'm all like, should I make a gate? How am I going to protect the tree?
Yeah, I was
So-
thinking like a baby gate, like
Yeah,
Be
babe,
like that
that's what I
around
was
it.
thinking, like a baby gate. So, because we have a baby gate that keeps them from the living room, which is where the tree used to go. But now, since this is the family room now, that we want the tree in the family room. So, which the children
sense.
each have their own like small Yule trees that like the fake. I mean, well, all of our trees are fake because the tree farm I used to get the real trees at closed down. So
Mean.
we just got fake trees. And the cats, for the large part, leave the children's trees alone. But my sister, hey, hand me your Advent house.
Advent house.
Hand it here. I'm pointing right at it. Yeah, I'll explain in a moment. Just hand it here. Stop asking questions. Yes, that one. Okay, so when we were children, we used to get these. My mom would buy us these Advent calendars with chocolate, and the chocolate was amazing. And so my sister wanted to do that for our kids. Well, it was fine for a couple years, but then the Advent chocolate started tasting like icky chalk, and just no, that was not good enough. Well, my sister then started looking into other kinds of Advent calendars that she could order, and she found these Advent house things, but they're like cost a lot. So then she found that she can make her own. So
That's
she makes the children Advent houses. And what? Yes, leave me alone. Shh. Quiet, all of you. So she makes them these, and she color codes the like numbers so they can't get them confused. Since we do Yule, she makes them 21 because it's the last one is on the first night of Yule. But yeah, and she'll like get little, like this year they got a lot of mini fidget toys in them, and so they can open them each day. And then 21, they each have like a special present in it. But yeah, that's
so cool. We have like a big box that my partner's mom made for us, and it's full of gifts. But it's like practical stuff because we're adults. So we had like soap and tissues and dog treats. And I'm like, do you want to tell us something?
But their Advent houses are set up under their tiny Yule trees. So they like have little cities down there, and one of the cats loves to just bowl himself into the city. So we like make the joke that he's the Yule cat, just destroying all the houses because nobody got
I love
pajamas for
that.
Christmas or for Yule.
Right. The opposite of the Easter Bunny, the Yule Cat.
So,
Comes
Sounds
with
like a
destruction.
short story idea
well, the Yule
or children's
well,
book
the-
idea.
the Yule cat is an actual like mythos. It's
Oh,
yeah, the Yule cat stalks around the mountains and stuff, checking everybody's houses, and if you don't get clothes for Yule, then it eats you.
Love that.
I firmly believe it originated as a way for parents or for like poor parents to make children appreciative of the fact that they had to get new winter clothes for Yule instead of toys and stuff. I have no evidence for that other than I know that a lot of mythos was created to scare children into behaving.
I mean, that's fair. Anything
Fair
you can
enough,
do to
yeah.
get them to behave, right?
okay. I'm gonna start the button, y'all. Are you ready?
Yeah, just shut us up already.
That's the end of the spread.
Hello.
Hi, you have it.
How did everybody do for that one?
I just want to get caught up on this one series. I only had 5 little chapters left, so I was like, yeah, I can definitely do that in 25 minutes. And everyone called me. So I only read 2. My husband also did, in fact, come in, and he like looks at me sleepy and confused, and he's like, "Why is your headset? Are you on a stream?" And I was like, "Yes."
Well, I read and enjoyed my book a lot. It's great. I'm like
Awesome.
70 pages into 350, and I think I just want to read the whole thing right now. It's so good.
That's good though.
It is. I haven't felt this desire to just binge an entire book. That's not like part of a series, but this is a complete
Turn
standalone.
it down.
It's
a
so
little.
good. It's so good.
Sounded good by the synopsis. Yeah, I listened to my audiobook.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah. I mean, it's always, I feel like a little bit weird, like when you're reading a series and like you're getting into the next book and you're like, where did we leave off? Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this from the end of the last book. Okay. Like that kind of moment of like getting settled back into the world.
Yeah.
So that's kind
This
of
is
where
why
I'm
you
at right now.
binge series, so you don't forget.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm getting
Yeah,
them
but
from
then
the
you have the-
library. And I think somebody else is reading them right before me because, like, first all the books were available, and then like I read this one, and then somebody else read it. Like we're clearly like the hold is like
Oh,
going back and
yeah.
forth between 2
I
people.
have that.
So
I have that
I
happen
had to wait for them
sometimes.
to finish before I could get the hold in. So, and I thought
Also,
about being a jerk and just checking out the other one that was available.
I
the next one.
100% have done that. I was like,
thought
no,
about
you
it,
can't
but-
have them. They're mine. It's fine as long as you then read them within a reasonable time frame. But the other, like, the pro to binging a series is you forget nothing. The con to binging a series is then like the necessary like recap-ish thing in the beginning is so much more boring. Like,
Yeah, I think also a con about binging series is like when you try to zoom out and like think of each books as individuals, they blur together sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Because like I read how many Cirque du Freak books like 2 months ago, like 5 or 6 in 1 month, and then they all started blurring.
Oh yeah, I definitely have that problem. And that's especially bad when like if I binged a series and then I have a friend who started reading the series and like hates spoilers and stuff, and then I'm like, what happened in that book? It's like I can say nothing because I don't remember where that book ended. So
That's
then
fair.
like then I'll just have to be like, where in the plot are you? 'Cause I'm like I'll be able to compartmentalize that way.
I
Yeah,
just
like
generally have bad memories and don't remember anything.
well,
so
and you were like posting your Cirque du Freak updates on the Discord, and you put spoiler tags, and I had read
Yeah.
obviously book 11, so I clicked on the spoiler tags, and then you put for book 12 something, and then like I go to click the spoiler tag, I was like, no, Violet, you haven't read that one yet. Don't click it. I was like, but I want to click it. No, don't click it.
it would be really bad if you clicked it.
I didn't, but I almost did, like just like muscle memory, like, oh, I want to see what's under the box.
I'm so bad about clicking spoiler tags sometimes. I'll click it before I read what leads up to it. So then I just have to like use self-control to try to not absorb the words with the dark thing behind them.
Yeah. Discord is great that you have the option to do that, but it's very easy to just
Yeah, but then we
Yeah.
have no one to blame but ourselves.
I mean,
That's
but I
true.
want to just blame other people for my,
Well, I mean,
lack of
if that is your
self-control.
Sounds interesting.
choice. Never heard of it. Who's that?
I have a similar book. I don't think it's the same one though. It's I don't know, old copy lying around.
I do have the first couple books for the new year decided, but I'm not quite 100% ready to announce them yet.
I mean,
You
that's
were
fair.
just like, I know what it is, but you guys don't. I mean,
Well,
I do.
so
but-
I'm doing this new system with co-conductor. So each month I have a different co-conductor, and that pretty much just means like I have one like champion for the book. They're like signed on in advance to be for the live show. Somebody excited about it because you know we were supposed to read Shadow and Bone, and then nobody wanted to read it, and I didn't want something like that to happen again, or even like with Raven Boys, it ended up just being me and Sam, which worked out, but like there
I
was a moment of
championed
me panicking that nobody was going to read this book with me. So
Yeah.
this is just a way to know that at least one person is excited about reading a book each month.
So my name is on all of them.
There's only one Sam. You can't be in all the months.
I know,
You only
I
get
can
one.
only get one. It's fine.
So yeah, so I was gonna announce it, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should have asked my co-conductors first before like, hey, I'm gonna announce this. So I didn't think
Yeah.
about doing that in advance, but I do have the first 3 months because we do 9 books
So-
a year, so 3 sets of 3.
Well, for clarity, is there only going to be one co-conductor, or is there like one guaranteed co-conductor plus whoever wants? to
Yeah,
join?
so it's like me and one like other guest host each
Mhm.
month, and then the other slots can be filled just as they always have been, like whoever wants
See,
to join can
Anne?
join.
My
But
name can
whoever-
go there. I'm just
yeah,
in
but
the
whoever
bonus
is
slot
the
every month.
co-conductor, like their like availability is like top priority. Violet, and
Yeah,
Daisy
yeah.
can
yeah.
find a time, and then everyone else is
Yeah,
like,
no,
if you
that's
can
fine.
come.
Yeah, because since we have people in so many different time zones, it would makes it easier. Like I kind of did like a soft version this month, like
Yeah, with
me
Stieg
reaching
and
out
the
to
Hobbit.
Stieg. Yeah, so I reached out to Stieg, like unbeknownst to him, he was an experiment to me to be like, hey Stieg, I want you to be on the Hobbit. What dates work for you? So
Look, I'm totally fine with Violet prioritizing her co-conductor. I can prioritize Violet. I have called my mother to pick my kids up for me before. It's fine.
so that's
very sweet.
yeah. So
There already is
I-
an exception though in the first 3 months, right? Something is different.
yes, because I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do it for every month. If we're gonna have a co-conductor every month, or if things are, I'm not exactly 100% sure. That's just something we're trying out.
Trial
see.
and error, fully support.
So because last year I picked the 9 books in advance the whole year because we read
Mhm.
9 a year. I picked them all in advance, and this year I was like, let's break it down into the three sets of
into
3.
Okay.
I always want to say quarters, but it's like that's not quarters. That's thirds. But it doesn't sound as
Yeah.
nice to say third.
Just we'll figure out whatever the try word for it is, because like it's not quite triannual, tri-monthly.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to say I got the first quarter pick, but it doesn't work with the math. Unfortunately.
You can say the first triplet of books. You have 3 triplets in a year.
Synonym for third.
So yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're
Turkey?
gonna try that out for the beginning of the year, see how it works. And I mean, and now the book club has its own YouTube channel. We're still need to get some subscribers over here.
Rebel.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Primary.
So I think The Hobbit will then be the first one we do on this channel since they've all been on my channel. So it's kind of nice that they can be over here in their own place now.
Yes.
So yeah, that's the excited. I already took the banner down. I don't know why I'm still talking about it, but I took the banner down.
No one needs a
I
banner.
vote you use the word pyramidal for third.
I don't even know how to spell that.
like pyramid and then AL.
Oh,
Pyramidal.
maybe I can spell that.
I just looked up synonyms for third, and there's a whole list of them. So
Well, I should probably within like the next bit of time, I will at least release the January book so people know what we're reading for January. So
yeah, I got to put it on hold at my library. No, I have to go pay my late fee. That's not even my late fee. I'm so
yeah,
sad.
so
Sorry.
words.
No.
I hit my post morning stride, so now I'm just a bucket of energy. So feel free
Well,
to cut
here
me
it's
off.
9 p.m. and my body is like, you need to go to bed because you're grandma.
It's only 2 here.
Should
I mean, you
we
can also go to bed. Nap time.
Is this
roll the outro? Does anybody have
No, I do
anything
not
to say?
nap.
That's fair. Outro.
Oh, okay. You guys don't have anything to say?
No.
Okay.
I have a holiday bash on the 26th. Y'all can
Oh.
come party. I have a couple games that
What
chat
time?
also gets to play with us. 7 p.m. Central
Your
Standard
regular time.
Yeah, I had to remember if it was my regular time or not.
If you want to start the day with the 3 nuts, we're also streaming at 9 a.m. on the 26th.
Yes.
It'll
I'm
be
going
fun.
to start
exciting
trying.
announcement.
I'm going to start trying to come to the 3-net streams more since I realized in the morning it semi coincides with when I have to get up to take care of the children anyway. So
That makes sense. You don't have to come next week though. I won't be there, so it's not as good.
I'll keep that in
Oh,
mind.
hasn't ended.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, I almost clicked the intro button for the outro. Okay, bye.
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 Stand well back from the platform edge.